those things without their permission. This is the usual practice. This is the usual practice in our families, Indian traditions. We would be embarrassed if we were caught stealing anything, even something as small as a pen from neighbor's house. Embarrassment would be worse if other found out that something we flaunted as our own, but actually was not ours but stolen. Yet some of us forget or ignore this basic tenet when we deal with easily accessible intellectual property that we find in books, journals, papers, magazines, and obviously now in internet. Or we mistakenly assume that property right do not apply to the fruits of intellectuals or artistic efforts. We would realize that when we do not acknowledge, we let others believe that these products are our own, even if we do not explicitly claim so. We deny the real owners the credit for creating them. It is nothing but stealing intellectual property and flaunting it as our own. It is wrong. Basically, it is totally wrong. Not wrong. Basically, it is a plain cheating, and it is called plagiarism. There is nothing shameful. There is nothing shameful about borrowing others' ideas, but we have to acknowledge them. We have to cite them. They are resources that, unlike material things, borrowing does not shrink. We can borrow the sensitized ideas from different sources and create new knowledge. That's our science grows. So let us see an example in this regard. Case number one. Case number one. If you borrow 5 lakh rupees from your bank, they will not only record it in their books, but also insist to collateral security. Case number two. If you borrow rupees 5,000 from your bank, they will record it in their books, but will not ask for any collateral security. Case number three. If you borrow rupees 500 from your friend, neither you nor your friend may keep a record of it anywhere, and you will remember it and return the money when you can or by a mutual agreed deadline. The kind of records kept thus depends on the kind of borrowing. Similarly, there are different levels of borrowing in the academic world. How you acknowledge your intellectual debt depends on how deep your indebtedness is. Here, three type of broad level of borrowings in the context of academic writing is number one case, you borrow an idea and the original text that the idea came packed in. Number two, you borrow an idea but packed it in your own words. Case number third type of borrowing, you borrow nothing in particular but take someone's support in general for an idea. In this regard, you will be able to understand and we will be able to elaborate it. As you know, I think most of you have heard or read about the UGC guidelines in this regard. So after discussing about these guidelines, everything will be clear to you. Most probably, you have read it. Most probably, all of you have read it because all of us are from academic fraternity. So this should be known to us. So this is the University Grant Commission promotion of academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism in higher education institutions regulation 2018. We are in the next 1 hour we are going to discuss about these regulations and the things how we can change in our academics. So I am just briefing it out. This is comes on the 23rd July 2018, issued by the University Grant Commission in the notification that is number F1. I am just acknowledging it, F1 118 2010 CPP 2. This is the notification number issued and issued on 23rd July 2018 by the UGC. So we are going to highlight it. We are going to discuss some highlighted points, not all. So assessment of academic and research work done leading to the partial fulfillment of for the award of degree at master level or research level by a student or a faculty or a researcher or a staff in the form of thesis, dissertation, publication of research papers, chapters in books, full-fledged books, or any other similar work reflects the extent to which elements of academic integrity and originality are observed in various relevant processes adopted by the HEIs, higher educational institutions. So before going on the next things, we have to understand some terminologies which are we are going to use in the future. The first you can say. What is academic integrity? I am just briefing some items and taken from the, I'm again citing it. It is the University Grant Commission Promotion and Academic Integrity Prevention of Plagiarism in Higher Education Institution Regulation 2018. I have taken few items from there. Academic integrity is the intellectual honesty in proposing, performing, and reporting any activity which leads to the creation of intellectual property. This is called academic integrity. Another word which is generally used, DAIP, that is Departmental Academic Integrity Panel. CEL means the body constituted at the departmental level to investigate all allegations of plagiarism. The common knowledge means the well-known fact, well-known quote, well-known figures, or well-known information that is known to most of all people. Say, you can say Newton's principle. You can say the weathers, the summers, the winters. These are some well-known things. So these are common knowledge, which is need not to be quoted. That is common knowledge, known to all, and this is common. If I say this is the sweet, it is sweet means it's the taste of this thing is a sweet. The another terminology is it used IAIP, that CEL means the body constituted at institutional level to consider. Previous was departmental level, now it is an institutional level. Institutional level body constituted at institutional level to consider recommendations of the Departmental Academic Integrity Panel, that is DAIP, and take appropriate decision in respect of allegations of all type of plagiarisms and decide on penalties to be imposed. In exceptional cases, it shall investigate allegations of plagiarism at the institutional level also. Now, as I have already told you, plagiarism doesn't means the common words. I mean, plagiarism means the practice of taking someone else's work or idea and passing them as one's own. Whenever, if anybody creates something, this is the intellectual property. Basically, as we are having physical properties, just like that we are having the academic integrity. So plagiarism is, as you know, I have already told you, we can have plagiarism in different type of cases. Plagiarism is you are packaging the things in your own words. So what are the objectives of this plagiarism act? I'm quoting some objectives: to create awareness about responsible conduct of research, thesis, dissertation, promotion of academic integrity, and prevention of misconduct, including plagiarism in academic writing among students, faculty, researchers, and staff. The second objective of this gadget is to establish institutional mechanism through education and training to facilitate responsible conduct of research, thesis, dissertation, promotion of academic integrity, and deterrence from plagiarism. The third objective of this gadget is to develop system to detect plagiarism and to set up mechanism to prevent plagiarism and punish a student, faculty, researcher, or staff of higher educational institution committing to the act of plagiarism. These are basically three objectives of this gadget issued by the UGC. So under these three objectives, let us see how this works. First of all, UGC defined the duties of higher education institutions. Every higher education institution established the mechanism as prescribed in these regulations to enhance awareness about responsible conduct of research and academic activities, to promote academic integrity and to prevent plagiarism. What are the activities we have to undertake to aware about the plagiarism? So, higher educational institutions shall instruct students, faculty, researcher and staff about proper attribution, seeking permission of the author whether necessary, and acknowledgement of the source of compatible with the needs and specifications of disciplines and accordance with rules, international conventions and regulations governing the source. Higher educational institutions shall conduct the seminars, awareness programs in every semester or annual basis, responsible to conduct of research, thesis, dissertation, promotion of academic integrity and ethics in education for students and other related persons. Higher educational institutions shall include the cardinal principles of academic integrity in the curricula of undergraduate and postgraduate as a compulsory coursework. Higher educational institutions shall include elements of responsible conduct of research and publication, ethics as a compulsory coursework module for the master and research scholars. Includes elements of responsible conduct of research and publication ethics in orientation and refresher courses organized for faculty and staff. To train by students and other related persons to detect tools and reference management tools. We will discuss about it. Establish faculty equipped with modern technologies for detection of plagiarism, because as you know, there are different tools by which we can detect it. Encourage students, faculty, researcher and staff to register on international research agency systems. So, curbing plagiarism. How we can curb it? Higher education institutions have declared and implement the technology-based mechanism using how we can prevent it basically. Mechanism using appropriate softwares. I will tell you the name of few softwares in the last. So as to ensure that conduct thesis, dissertation, publications or any other such document are free of plagiarism at the time of their submission. The mechanism as defined in the previous statement shall be made accessible to all engaged in those who are engaged in research work, including all the stakeholders. Every student submitting thesis, dissertation or any other such document of higher education institutions shall submit an undertaking indicating that the document has been prepared by him or her, that the document is original and free from plagiarism. The undertaking shall include the fact that the document has been duly checked through a plagiarism detection tools by the higher education institution. And higher education institutions have developed a policy. Please hold on, please. Please hold on, please. पूरी प्लानिंग करके बताता हूँ आपको, करवा दूँ। हाँ, करवा दूँ। Sorry, our Honorable Vice Chancellor called urgently regarding, because I am just sharing with you, dear listeners and participants. We are having convocation on 31st. So many parallel tasks are going on. So each supervisor shall submit a certificate indicating that the work done by the researcher under him or is in plagiarism free. Higher educational institutions shall submit. This is very important point. This is very important point because the UGC is giving the free softwares to all the colleges and all the universities in India, those who are demanding. So higher education institutions shall submit to implement soft copies to all masters, research programs, dissertations, and theses within a month after the award of degree for hosting in the digital repository under the Sodh Ganga e-repository. So I request to the participants, please visit the Sodh Ganga website. So you will find lot of things over there. Higher education institutions shall create institutional repository. Not only this point says that apart from Sodh Ganga, we should institutions have their own repository system, which includes all dissertations, thesis papers, publications, and other in-house publications on their websites. So similarity check. How we can check the similarity? So this is some points are defined in it. The similarity checks for plagiarism shall exclude whenever we are checking the plague. So we have to exclude few things. We can detect from there all quoted work reproduced with all necessary permissions and attributions. Number one. Number two, all references, bibliography, table of content, preface, and acknowledgements we have to exclude. All number three, all generic terms, law, standard symbols, common knowledge, standard equations, we can delete them there from the plague. So this is the similarity check for plagiarism should be excluded from these 3 points. So research work carried out by the student, faculty, or researcher should be based on original idea, which shall include abstract, summary, hypothesis, observations, results, conclusion, and recommendations. I was listening the previous sessions. So many of our honorable presenters and honorable previous speakers have enlightened about it. So I need not to go in details about it. So let us see the levels. Here the seriousness of the plagiarism starts. So here plagiarism would be quantifiable into the following levels. So level 0 level plagiarism. After checking it, that is similarity. Say, I want to clarify here one thing. There is a difference between similarity and plagiarism. Similarity and plagiarism, there are different words and different meanings are there. Similarity means whenever the words are matching, and plagiarism whenever you are stealing someone's ideas. So here we are talking in the terms of similarities, not the plagiarism. Similarities up to 10%, this is called in the minor similarities. No penalty is there. Level 1 is similarities about 10%, ranging between up to 40%. This is level 1. Level 2 similarity is up to 40 to 60% when it is the matter is matching. Level 3 similarity is above 60%. So UGC defined these 4 levels of similarities. So here, if any member, some other things also mentioned here. If any member of the academic community suspects with appropriate proof that the case of plagiarism has happened in any document, he or she shall report to the Departmental Academic Integrity Panel, that is DAIP. And upon receipt of such complaint or allegation, the DAIP shall investigate the matter and submit it recommendations to the Institutional Academic Integrity Panel IAIP of the higher education institution. The attributes, the authorities of higher education institution can also take sui moto of an act of plagiarism and initiate proceedings under these regulations, Similarly, proceedings can also be initiated by the higher education institution on the basis of findings of an examiner. All such cases will be investigated by IA, IAIP, that is Institutional Integrity Plagiarism Check Panel. So, departmental, that is DAIP, I was just telling you, DAIP, the UTC has recommended the formation of the DAIP, Departmental Academic Integrity Panel. There is some composition. Chairman should be the head of the department. Members, the first member will be the senior academician from outside the department to be nominated by the higher education institution. And the second member is a person well versed with anti-plagiarism tools to be nominated by the head of the department. So this is the composition of departmental level integrity panel. The tenure of the members in the respect of points A and B shall be 2 years. The quorum of the meeting shall be 2 out of 3 members, including chairman. It is mandatory. The chairman should be present in the DAIP meeting. So the DAIP shall follow the principles of natural justice while deciding about the allegation of plagiarism against the students, faculty, researcher, or staff. And the DAIP shall also have the power to access the level of plagiarism and recommended penalty accordingly. So these are the some compositions of the DAIP. So and IAIP, sorry, just a minute. And about the IAIP, that is Institutional Academic Integrity Panel, chairman should be the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Dean, Senior Academician of the HEI. First member will be the Senior Academician other than chairman to be nominated by the head of the institution. Second member, one member nominated by the head of the HEI from outside the HEI. And the fourth member will be, third member, a person well versed with anti-plagiarism tools to be nominated by the head of the higher education institution. This is the composition of IAIP. So DAIP and IAIP are having the different compositions. Now the penalties. This is the most serious issue. Penalties in case of plagiarism shall be imposed on the students pursuing. This is basically, now we are discussing about the students, and about the faculty, let us discuss that later. Imposed on students pursuing studies as the level of masters or research programs, and on the researcher, faculty, staff of the HEI only after academic misconduct on the part of the individual has been established without doubt. When all avenues of appeal have been exhausted and individuals in questions has been provided enough opportunity to defend himself or herself in a fair or transparent manner. Let us see the penalties. If it is proven that the plagiarism is there, what are the penalties? And after detecting that, what is the amount of, or what is the quantity of plagiarism? Level 0. If you find level 0 similarity, that is up to 10%, then there is no penalty. The second is level 1. That is similarity index ranging between 10 to 40%. Such students shall be asked to submit a revised script with an stipulated time period not exceeding 6 months. If we found the student is guilty of level 2, similarity index or similarity words that is ranging between 40 to 60%, such students shall be debarred from the submitting a revised script for the period of 1 year. And the last and highly severe similarity, that is range above 60%, level 3, most serious, highly serious, such students registration for that program shall be cancelled. These are the penalties for students. Now, penalty, if any student doing the things repeatedly, such students shall be punished for the plagiarism of one level higher than the previous level committed. If, for example, if in the second attempt any student found level 1 similarity, then in the second attempt he or she will be penalized for the next level. Say in the second round it is found level 1, then in the second attempt it will be converted into a level 2. If you find level 2, then it will be converted into level 3. So in case Where plagiarism of highest level is committed, then the punishment for the same shall be operative. If any student in the second attempt, the similarity index is level 2, then in second attempt it will be level 3. I think it is clear to you. Penalty in case where the degree credit has already obtained. Even if a student received the degree, even after that, if it is found that the student is guilty about the plagiarism, if plagiarism is proved on the date later than the date of award of degree or credit as the case may be, then his or her degree or credit shall be put in abeyance for a period recommended by IAIP and approved by the head of the institution. So this is the highly serious issue as mentioned by the UGC. In case of penalties in case of plagiarism in academic and research publications. So level 0, that is again up to 10%, minor similarities it is called. So in that case there is no penalty. If you find the level 1 similarity about 10% to 40%, shall be asked to rewrite the manuscript to the faculty. These are the penalties for faculty and staff basically. If any faculty and staff found level 2 similarity above 40 to 60%, then in that shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript. Second penalty will be detained or right. Shall be denied to right to 1 annual increment. Shall be detained to 1 annual increment and shall not be allowed to supervise to any master level student, MPhil or PhD student for the period of 2 years. This is the penalty to the teacher, to the faculty. And if any faculty found guilty in the level 3, that is about 60%, then faculty shall be asked to withdraw manuscript, number 1. Number 2, shall be denied or to the 2 successive increments, and the third will be the teacher will be stopped to supervise the master, MPhil or PhD student for the period of 3 years. So these are the penalties for the faculty members, for the staff. Another some other things are also there in penalties cases. Penalty on repeated plagiarism. This is again a highly serious issue. Shall be asked to withdraw manuscript and shall be punished for the plagiarism of 1 level higher, as we have in the case of the student. The same case is here. 1 level higher than the lower level committed by him or her. In case where plagiarism of higher level is committed, then the punishment for the same shall be operative. In case level 3 offense is repeated, then the disciplinary action including suspension, termination as per the service rules shall be taken by the higher education. Here I want to mention one thing. If you Google, there are so many examples I cannot quote here. There are so many examples where in case of plagiarism, even higher authorities found and they found guilty and they are even terminated and suspended from their services. There are cases are there in India also. Penalty in case where the benefit or credit has already been obtained if plagiarism is proved on the date later than the date of benefit or credit obtained as the case may be, then the benefit or credit shall be put in abeyance for a period recommended by IAIP and approved by the HEI, head of the HEI. HEI shall create a mechanism so as to ensure that each of the publication, thesis, dissertation by the student, faculty, research or staff of a HEI is checked for the plagiarism at the time of submission. If there is any complaint of plagiarism against the HEI, this gadget is also clear about the head of the institutions also. And there are cases in India where head of the institutions are punished about after the plagiarism found guilty. So HEI shall create a mechanism. So if there is any complaint of plagiarism against the head of the HEI, a suitable action in the line with these regulations shall be taken by the controlling authority of HEI. If there is any complaint of plagiarism against the head of the department or authority at the institutional level, a suitable action in line with these regulations shall be recommended by IAIP and approved by the competent authority. if there is any complaint of plagiarism against any member of DAIP or IAIP, then such member shall excuse himself herself from the meetings where his her case is being discussed or investigated. So there is another case. UGC also mentioned because in the actual act, actual gadget, nothing was mentioned about the plagiarism. So in April 2020, I mean last year, approximately 1 year back, University UGC also clarify about the self plagiarism. So reproduction in a part or whole, you can say this is self plagiarism. This is the notification of UGC of 20th April 2020. I'm quoting it here. Reproduction in a part or whole of one's own previously published work without adequate citation and proper acknowledgement and claiming the most recent work as a new and original for any academic advantage amount to text recycling, also known as self-plagiarism, and is not acceptable. Even if we are writing, we have to cite ourselves also. If we are writing a research paper and it is published already, and on the basis of that we are again writing some other research paper, so both the research papers are related with each other somewhere, so we have to cite our own work also. So this is called self plagiarism. If we are not citing it, then it is comes under the category of self plagiarism. So text recycling self plagiarism includes, which what are the things which are included in self plagiarism? Sorry. Republishing the same paper already published elsewhere without due and full citation. Publishing smaller accepted work from a longer and previous without due and full citation in order to show a larger number of publications. Reusing data already used in a publication work or communicated for publication in other work without due and full citation. Breaking up a larger study into smaller sections and publishing them as a altogether new work without due and full citation. Paraphrasing, very important thing is paraphrasing one's own previous published work without means just quoting. I mean to say we just polishing them the word. We are polishing the words and synonyms, antonyms are used somewhere, and the meaning is same. It is called paraphrasing. Paraphrasing one's on previously published work without due and full citation of the original. So self-citation do not add any number or numbers to the individual citation index or H index in global academia world. Self-citation is also, or self-plagiarism is also not allowed. Also. We have to cite ourselves also. So how we can cite it? We were discussing about the citations, different type of citations. So these are the some commonly used in India. Basically, APA and Harvard are most commonly used. So APA, Harvard, and Chicago. I am not going in details because this is a separate. It required a separate session on these four things. These four common citation styles. APA and Harvard are used commonly used in our country, but some other also there. I'm quoting some those who are known. Basically, those who are worldwide known. APA, Harvard, and Chicago, and MLA. These are the four common citation styles. Now we are having some plag check softwares. This is again I'm requesting Vinod sir. These require the separate sessions. How to check the software. Today's session is about the plagiarism only, not about the packages of plag check. So these are two basically known Turnitin and original. Previously original was the Orkund basically. Orkund and plag check. Two or I think some I forget the name. The original is the combination of Orkund. I mean Orkund and some other company also collaborated, and a few months back they come with a new name original. So these are the two softwares by which known software basically. Some other also there. Turnitin and original we can check. So Vinod sir, this requires a separate session on Turnitin and original basically.
Yes sir. Yes sir. Will do sir.
This is over from my side. So quickly. Thank you for having the patience and listening me patiently. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time for interaction with sir. Participants have any doubts regarding any of the topics that sir has discussed, kindly raise questions. Otherwise, you can put it in the chat box. Definitely, I will ask for you.
Sir, is there any software that we can check the plagiarism, sir?
Yeah, I have mentioned these are Turnitin original. These are
Okay, sir.
the known packages by which we can check the plague.
Sir,
Okay.
do we need to take certification from plagiarism checking, sir?
You can do one thing personally. You can go on the website of these anyone, and they even conduct the training sessions also, even free of course. They conduct the sessions, and they are having trial sessions also. So you can book your session with them through their website,
Thank you,
and
sir.
they
Thank
will
you.
they will give you some insight.
Questions from friends. So there is a question, sir, from Ashwini Rajmohan. Sir, please mention the difference between APA format and other which you are mentioned here.
I think, sir, tomorrow's session is about it because it will take time. APA and Harvard, they are having in APA. What you do, I can just quote you. APA is commonly used in India also and Harvard also. Both are having not much difference. But when you are using APA styling, American Psychological Association, the full name of that one is APA. So in basically when you find the APA in citation APA says that first of all you have to mention the name of the author, after that year of publication in bracket, then page number, and after in brackets you have to mention the title, and in the last you have to mention the name of the journal or article or your book or whatever you are having, and that edition number and volume number and then the page number. This is the standard of APA styling. I'm repeating it. First of all, you have to mention the say. My name is MP Singh, so I have to mention Singh, comma M. P. Say 2009, full stop. Then the title of the paper or whatever you are saying, book, and after that say the journal name is Vikalpa, comma edition is 34, volume is say 1, and the page numbers 34 to 45 or 30 to 40. This is the commonly style used. That is APA, American Psychological Association. That's the full name of that one.
Sir, there is one more thing. Recently, UGC to buy that one of the software that is Trinitin, that as a software for checking plagiarism. The news is there on, I think on May, it came in the newspaper. That one.
Sir, recently I also attended a workshop on original. Basically, Shodh Ganga, if you visit the website of Shodh Ganga, original is free to all, and your college can approach to the concerned persons in the office of Shodh Ganga. Even our university is having approximately 10-12 terminals, 10-12 terminals on through Shodh Ganga persons. And we are using it because basically we are using both Turnitin as well as that original.
So there is another
Original is
question.
free from UGC side. They are paying high amount to the original UGC, and they are offering. They are even this is open to all. Any college can approach.
So there is another question. About 60% plagiarism is a crime in India. There is a question.
Yeah. So, so basically, it is not mentioned in the act about the jail or all that, but some cases are there in India. But basically, jail is not there about it. It is all about the integrity.
Yes. Sir.
So there are examples in higher education. I cannot name them. Where highest level of authority is found in the plagiarism, and they found guilty and they resigned from their posts. You can Google there.
So there is another question from Abhilash. While writing the thesis, there are so many our own sentences are repeating. Each it comes under plagiarism.
You have to cite yourself. I have already mentioned in my presentation.
Yes.
self plagiarism also there. So you have to cite yourself also. You have
Okay.
to cite yourself. You have to cite.
Okay.
Whenever you are using your own work for the further research, always cite yourself also.
And there, Indumari ma'am, your thing that sir has already mentioned 2-3 plagiarism checking software. Sir has mentioned 2 softwares here. Then another question from sir: how can we justify our own construction if software show it plagiarism?
Here, sir, my suggestion is that whenever you are putting the word file in the plagiarism checking, please after that checking, please delete it from the memory. Otherwise, next time when you will submit, it will say the 100% plagiarism. So first
Okay.
of all, there are different options there. So first of all, you have to mention there, delete. I mean, ignore the references or bibliography. I think tomorrow's session is about the bibliography. So
Yes,
they
sir.
will tell you about the details about it. So first of all, there are different options in the softwares. You have to study that. You have to reference it whenever you are referencing someone, you are citing someone, and references bibliography. You can delete from there. I mean, you can avoid them. And whenever it shows that 100% plagiarism, please check your inbox of the software whether you have deleted your previous submitted work or not. First of all, whenever you are writing a thesis and you have submitted it for plag check, and next time again you are submitting after some corrections, so it will come under the 100% plag, because my research scholar comes under this category one time, because every time he was submitting and he was showing 100% plagiarism. So then I go in the details of the Turnitin. Then I contacted to the Turnitin persons, because by mistake that girl has submitted this is 2-3 times, and every time it was showing 100% plagiarism. Then I
Okay.
contacted to the Turnitin persons and I deleted all the things previously submitted. Then it comes under 2-3% commonly words.
Thank you, sir.
So
There is
please do this thing always.
sir, there is another question. Is there any limit for self citations?
No,
There is no limit.
it is not
sir?
there. Yes,
Okay.
the work should be related. Work should be related. If you are having 10 research papers and you are citing all the 10, so there is nothing like that.
Sir,
But you have
thank
to
you,
cite.
sir.
We have to cite.
There is a question from Abhilash. How can I cite, sir?
How you can cite? Say previously it was a very typical task, but nowadays everyone is having Google profile.
Google
So you
Scholar is
should
there,
know.
sir. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Google Scholar is there, sir.
Yeah, Google Scholar is there,
Yes,
so
simple way.
it is highly helpful to us. So you can take the help of that.
Sir, there is a question from Abhilash again. How can we write your own citation? Please give an example, sir. So
Say
this is
say you are writing a research paper on consumer behavior or consumption patterns, basically. Say consumer behavior, or you are writing a research paper on finance. So you're obviously everyone is having his or her specific area of research. So if I am writing again the research paper related with this, say consumption patterns in or consumer patterns in Kerala, and again
Yes.
you are in especially in Trivandrum, then again you are taking the research paper on with respect to Trivandrum, again say another research paper you are taking from Kottayam. So obviously, whenever you are writing the literature review, the related literature you are including and you are working on the same. So you have to cite yourself also in that paper. Whenever you are researching, you are doing a research on Trivandrum, and the topic is same for Kottayam. So data is different. So you have to cite your research paper which you have published in the reference of Trivandrum. So this is the self-citation.
Thank you so much, sir. And there is another question from Subbu regarding should we have a exclude bibliography as it is also considered as plagiarism?
Yeah, sure. I have already mentioned it.
Yes. You told discussed in the session, sir. So, any more questions, friends? Please. I think.
Thank you. Thank you very much, all.
Things are over. Now it's a time for a vote of thanks. I welcome Dr. Dilip S., Assistant Professor and Head of our department, to deliver a vote of thanks.
Vinod, I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can, sir. Yes, sir.
The respected Professor Dr. M.B. Singh sir and all the dignitaries, dear coordinator Dr. Vinod Ayers, dear colleagues, dear research scholars and dear friends. A warm good evening to all. As we know that plagiarism is a topic which is concerned with presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own without their consent or by incorporating it into your work without full acknowledgement. That is the concept of plagiarism. UGC and other academic bodies in the higher education instruct several guidelines regarding the prevention of plagiarism and related issue. As we know that plagiarism is a topic of current issue and various deliberations are taken place as a part of academic exercise, especially in the field of research. It was commonly noticed that the different universities and institutes insist different guidelines and rules for preventing plagiarism, and these rules and guidelines, different rules and guidelines, create some worries regarding the students about how to handle the issue, and I feel that majority of the students are unaware about these issues. Today's session is something associated with this pertinent issue, and Professor Dr. M.B. Singh sir arranged the presentation in a very simple, systematic and lucid manner. He can arrange the presentation from the beginning concepts, objectives, curbing the plagiarism, similarity checking, level of plagiarism, plagiarism checker software, and so on, so on. He can present the topic in a very informative one. Very informative one. I feel that it is an excellent session, and I feel that this session is very informative and thought-provoking, and I feel that all of them are getting certain insights regarding the plagiarism and a related issue. Sir, we are really thankful to you for this excellent and information session. Sir, on behalf of myself and on behalf of Department of Commerce, Mahatma Gandhi College, Thiruvananthapuram, and on behalf of Indian Accounting Association, Kerala chapter, on behalf of all assembled here, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for this excellent and informative session. Thank you, sir. And I'm thankful to and very much gratitude to all participants and dignitaries and students for making this academic exercise grand success. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you, Dilip sir. And now the session is coming to end. And tomorrow's session is starting by 5. And today actually